Hi guys, Neil here with FaceliftInteriors. Welcome back to our channel. So in this video we're going to show you how we made and upholstered a bespoke single bed frame with a headboard, but that's going to come later on. There's going to be two parts to this video as it's already quite long. So in this first video we're going to be showing you how we make and upholster a bed frame. So it's going to be four-sided bed frame which pushes up to a headboard that's going to be fixed to the wall. So this video is going to be all about the bed frame, and then within the next couple of weeks the headboard which goes with it will be uploaded to follow. So I'm also excited to say that this video is sponsored by Linwood Fabrics. We've been using Linwood for about 3 years now since we started the business. They've always been really supportive of small businesses. Great fabric company. The sample service is second to none. If you order samples, they are literally there next day or day after that, latest. They all come in a beautiful little package. In this video we're using one of the Omega range velvets, which is a beautiful wipeable velvet from their new range, Omega 3, which is made from recycled yarns. In this video we're going to be using the periwinkle, which is a sort of a light blue because it's for a little boy's room. It's a great velvet. Linwood also do some beautiful prints and some really beautiful fabrics, so if you want to check them out, their website is in the description below. So as always, if you like upholstery tips and tricks, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell. Also don't forget to follow us on the socials, Instagram, and we also have TikTok, so this one as well. So let's get into this video. This is how we make a bespoke bed frame from scratch. Action. Right guys, so in this tutorial we're going to be showing you how to do a headboard and bed frame. So this is for a little boy's room. We've got a headboard and we're going to do four-sided frame that pushes up to the headboard. So the headboard's going to be connected to the wall. So we're going to use like a sterling board sheet, which is like 11mm, 12mm sterling board, which is like a chipboard sheet, which is fine for a headboard. And then we're going to put like 2x1 batten around it. So it's going to be a four-sided, so it's going to be a headboard that connects to the wall. It's going to have a little notch out to miss the skirting board because it's going to go all the way down to the floor, and then the four-sided frame is going to push up to it. As it's for a little boy's room, we're also going to be doing like an upholstered side. So we're going to be taking the padding up and over so the mattress drops into the frame. So there's like a 10cm gap all the way round. So when he rolls in the night, he can't roll out of the bed. There's like a barrier that stops him going around. So there's a 10cm gap plus the padding on top. Then we're going to do like a nice bolstered side as well. Headboard, we're going to keep it quite simple as well. But I'm going to show you some really good tips here on how I build my headboard frames, how I build bed frames. Yeah, let's get cracking. So what I'm going to show you is bits that we're going to need. So this is our headboard. You see I've cut it to size. So it's 105 across the top. See, that's the top here, and then it's 94cm deep. You can see here that I've drawn a line of 8cm. So what that basically means is, I'll show you on this skirting board, but it doesn't equate to this skirting board. So when the headboard goes up against, it misses, so the frame's going to start from there. So when we put the frame on, it will start from there. This isn't the skirting board that's obviously in the room, so it's a lot lower, so it starts here, and then the frame will start from there and run around. So that's the headboard frame. With that, we've got some 2x1 batten here. This is just a 2x1 smooth timber that we're going to use to cut up and make the frame of the headboard. So it's going to be like a canvas, like you get on a painting, or like exactly like this one actually. Let me show you this. So that is a canvas picture. That's essentially what you're going to be doing, but that front is going to be the sterling board. We don't need a middle brace because it's solid wood. But that's kind of essentially what we're doing. And then we've got, like I said, this is the 2x1 frame we're going to use to go around the headboard. Then we've also got these little thin strips of wood. These are really handy for upholstery. You can use them on headboards, you can do them on bed frames, you could even use them on sofas as well if you want like a domed top or a domed front. Instead of like cutting a rail in or just cutting a bit of wood out to follow up to, you could pin this on, glue it and pin it on, and then you've got a hard edge to upholster up to. So you can upholster up to this edge here. Why does it keep focusing on my face, huh? So you can upholster up to that, and then you've got a hard line to follow, which is great. So that's that. And then we've also got four sides of the headboard. So they're all here, already cut to size. The frame is 105 side to side because the mattress is 90. So the reason I've gone 105 wide is because the mattress is 90, and you also need to allow for the wood. So there's 18mm each side. Then I've had to allow for like 2 inches of padding either side because we're going to do a really padded, like a barrier, so the little boy can't roll out of the bed. So this is basically 18mm MDF, quite thick, quite strong. I mean, plywood's probably stronger, but also a lot more expensive. Like I was saying, as it's a little boy's bed, we're going to do a drop-in mattress. So the mattress drops in, and then there's like a 10cm border that runs all the way round. I'm not going to do a cutout because it's low enough for him to climb into, and as he gets older, it's just going to be easier for him to get into at that height. So we're going to do 4 sides, and then the bed frame is going to push up against the headboard, which is going to be battened to the wall. So another thing I'm going to show you that we're going to use is these. These are our corner brackets. So that will go on one side, and then this will lock in there like that, and then we'll tighten them once the bed's getting put together. So these are our corner braces for our sides and our ends. You can get these on Amazon, anywhere like that. So yeah, let's just get started and show you how we're going to go about doing this. Right, so this is our end piece for our bed. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to go about and why I'm doing the measurements that I'm doing. So first of all, I've got a sheet of 18mm here. I can essentially line that up on the end. So I'm just going to, so 18mm down the sides, and we're going to do this side as well. So that is where our end pieces are going to be. Now we need to work out our brackets. So these have got little molds in the back, so we're going to have to cut that out so that slots in so it doesn't sit up too high. Right, so I'm going to mark the top. So I'm just going to go top, and this is the bottom of the frame. What I need to do is measure a 10cm barrier at the bottom, at the top, which is going to be covered in foam, which is essentially going to be a barrier for the little boy not to fall out. We're going to put like 2-inch foam on it and bring it up and over so it's nice and padded. So from there, we've then got a 16cm mattress, which is going to come to there. So I'm just going to write on here so you can see where we are. So the top is, this is the barrier. This is the mattress. Then we've got the slats, and they are 3/4 of an inch. I really should use a fucking pencil, shouldn't I? I just prefer to use a pen because you get a much cleaner line. So that is that is for our slats, which abroad, I don't know what you call them abroad, but that are the bed rails that hold the mattress up. And then underneath there, we've got our 2x2 battens. So our 2x2 battens are 4.5 centimeters. So that is our batten, which is our 2x2 support that goes all the way round. And then underneath there, we've got space. So obviously we can put a bracket in here. So that bracket will sit on there like so. And then we might also put a bracket here as well. We might go about there. So it's totally covered by the mattress. So we've got two pieces in there holding it all together. So we've got 2 brackets in there. So I've got the top of this bracket touching that rail underneath. I'm just going to mark these 2 holes here so we can put a couple of screws in there. And then these are the big ones. We're going to mark these out because we've got to notch these out. So these big ones here we've got to notch out. Why? Because these brackets have got, so they've got this little notch bit at the back, so we need to notch those out. So we're just going to notch these bits out. Not too deep. So you don't want to go all the way through. reason we notched them holes out is because they need to go in there. So then this will go on there like so. So what we'll do is we'll put that on the other side and we'll just check that it lines up nicely, and then we can use that measurements onto the side pieces as well. So I've just lined the side up so it's nice and level at the top and at the bottom. We're just going to try this on, and if it fits well, which it should, so all we're going to do is quickly mark these like so. So I'm just going to put 2 in here just for now, just to try it. So now we've got our 2 pieces together, we're just going to slot that into there. Nice, that gives us a nice flush edge around the sides. And then when the time comes, you can just, you just tighten that up like that. And that is your corners done. So we're going to carry on building the frame now. That's how you do the brackets, the corner brackets. We will probably put another one. We'll probably put another one up here as well because it's quite deep, quite a large side panel. So we'll probably put another one there. So yeah, let's get going. Again, let's mark this out. Barrier. Let's go top. Mattress. Slats. Bed, mattress supports. Batten. Then under here is where we're going to put our brackets. So we're just pinning this batten on. So we just use some wood glue underneath, and then we've just used the pin gun to pin it on. Then we will screw it from the back later. This is the batten. This is 2x2. This is what we've just put on here. So this is our support strut that goes all the way down the sides. So that is 2x2. I'm not sure what you call it in the United States of America. But this is our, so that's like 4x1. Yep. So it's 4x1. These are our struts. So we're going to cut these to size, and these will sit on here. And they're going to be going across the sides of the bed every 30 centimeters as the mattress supports. Then we've also got this stuff here. This is like a little thin strip. It's only about 2mm deep and it's about 1 inch wide. And what I'm going to use this for is I'm going to have a barrier. So that is going to pin onto there. So then I know that the mattress finishes here. So I'm going to bring the padding to about here. So the mattress is covering it. And then underneath here, we'll do like black lining, black lining, black lining. Right guys, so what we're doing now is we are attaching our side panel, and this here is our end panel. We're just going to sort of put the frame together, put it together on the floor, and then we'll check all our sizes, check where our brackets have got to go and whatnot. So this is the end panel. There's obviously a gap in between the 2 battens for the central support that runs down the middle of the bed. Right guys, hopefully you can see I've put this frame together. I'll just take you around how it all fits together. So we've got these brackets that slot together like so in the corners. This is also a panel that I've put on, pinned on. It's just a thin frame, so that's where the padding's going to come to. So I'll show you how I do that later with the headboard, which is there, how I pin that on, and how I decided on what size it was going to be. This here, this space here, is a centre for the struts, well, for a support bracket, so a 2x2 bracket. Right, so in here we're going to have this support that goes in like so, and there's going to be one that goes in that end as well. So that is the middle support strut. Also, we'll start cutting our slats that go across, our slats that go from that side to that side. So the struts are basically just strips of wood that support the mattress, but in the corners there and there, I'll screw them down so they, you know, they're nice and sturdy. We're probably going to get rid of these at the bottom because obviously I can't really get any legs on there. So I found some better corner support braces. So as long as we've got the middle one on, we're going to get rid of these bottom ones. What I'm going to do now is start taking this apart and start upholstering the sides. As you can see down the sides as well, I've put this little strip, knowing because I'm going to do a double padded border. So I've got a nice hard edge to follow. That'll make sense in time as well. Right guys, so what I'm doing here is I am using a 2-inch white foam, which is like a medium And now I am gluing it all the way along, gluing it onto the thin wood strip. You can see here I am stapling the edge down, obviously because it's 2-inch, it's quite thick, so you need to roll the edge over. Now we're onto the other side, gluing it down, and then we're going to do exactly the same, staple it down on top of the little wooden strip that we attached earlier. So we're stapling it down all the way along. You can see here I'm rolling the foam over, and here we're adding some Dacron just to give it a nicer feel and make it easier to work with, of course. So here I put a nip in the center of the fabric, so I know when I go to the center of the frame that is where I'm starting. Now we're just pulling the fabric down to the end, and we're going to pull really nice and tight here. You want to pull super duper tight, really take the stretch out of the fabric, because with this barrier you really have to work hard, because the fabric's rolling over both sides. You really have to work hard to get it nice and clean, and then at the ends to get a nice clean look you really have to pull nice and tight. So I'm pulling super tight there and just stapling about 1 inch down. So now we're onto the other side, stapling down using our little wooden edge, of course. Starting off in the middle, working our way down towards the ends, trying to clear out all the excess material, making sure you've not got no lumps and bumps and tack ties, trying to keep it nice and clean. Right, so now we're towards the end. Here we are going to have to get a really tight pull down on this end here. So this is the inside, so I've left myself a gap here to staple onto, which is awesome. So I'm going to pull that down like that, as tight as I can, and then again so what I'm doing now is trying to clear all this lot out. Right, I need to pull these ones out at the end. Just pull it a little bit tighter down here, and we should be good. Right guys, so here is the bed frame ready made up. I just want to show you down here what we've changed. So we've got rid of these brackets in the corner, and we changed them for these brackets. So these are really good little leg braces. So I'm just going to cut a big wooden leg that will sit underneath there and support the weight of the bed, because I do want legs on it. I don't want it sitting on the floor. With these, so we've drilled all the way through, so they clamp in from the outside. I'll just show you. So there they are. They clamp in from the outside and they're screwed on. So they're really good leg brackets, because they're really strong. And this is what they look like. So they screw in from the back, so they're drilled in, so they clamp the whole bed together, so it gives it a lot more strength. Right, so we've already put our piping on. So the first thing we're going to do, guys, is lay the fabric on. And again, I'm going to pull nice and tight this way. You see there, if I pull that and then I push, I can see my piping line that I need to follow. Next, we're going to go on with the back tack, and you want to go nice and tight up to the top of the piping. Just pull that down and try it. It's perfect. It's sitting nicely. So we're just going to glue this on, allowing a little bit to sort of turn under and staple down. Turn it under itself. And staple it onto the cardboard strip. Right guys, so we're just sticking our Dacron on. Now, I'm using 9-ounce Dacron, which is quite thick, so what I do when I put it on is I pull it quite tight, so you get rid of all the bumps out of it. You don't want any ripples in it because it will show through the fabric. Right guys, so you can see there's the Dacron, there's the foam, and down there is the cardboard strip. So what I'm going to do is getting my gun right down in there and stapling that Dacron right to the top of the cardboard strip. Be careful, you don't want to staple through the fabric here. That'll be a nightmare because that will show. I'm just going to do that all the way along. So now we can start doing our fabric. Right, so now we're going to start tacking off our fabric. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the middle. We've got our middle marked here. Now we're going to pull this tight as a motherfucker. So I'm just going to put a few in the middle and then we're going to start working our way along. So what I'm doing is rolling my hand up and over, but I'm also grabbing on here to this bit of fabric, pulling it nice and tight. You can see when you're straight. Right guys, so we're just finishing off now. So we've pinned on all the sides, or stapled on all the sides, should we say. So this needs to push up to another unit, hence the reason I've left that quite flat there. Flatten as much of that down as you can, because that's got to push up to another unit. So I'm going to cut this Dacron off pretty much level. So on here we're going to staple off. I'm going to staple off on the ends. So I'm pulling that nice and tight. So I covered the inside of the wood with black lining fabric, and also on the slats and the support bracketing as well down the centre, and also put industrial strength Velcro all the way down the rails on each side and also on the slats so they don't move. And here is the finished product. Obviously the headboards come in part 2 in a few weeks time, so keep your eye for that. So you can see the wood feet on as well, and they've been attached underneath the brace. Beautiful. As always guys, thanks for watching, see you next time.